New tonight, the Department of Environmental Management has completed its investigation into a Warwick man's claims about trapping hundreds of animals on his property.
And the DEM says its environmental police found no evidence that any animals were inhumanely euthanized and filed no charges. Eyewitness News reporter Kim Kalunian joins us now with an update. Kim?
Well, according to documents released by the DEM, environmental police did uncover that a Warwick animal control officer suggested an inhumane method of euthanasia, but they say that method of euthanasia was ultimately not used. The environmental police are not filing charges after looking into what community activist Rob Cote did with hundreds of animals like skunks, raccoons, and squirrels he claimed to have trapped on his property.
You probably wouldn't believe me if I told you how many animals I've had to trap.
Cote made the claims at a Warwick City Council meeting in February while testifying in favor of an ordinance that would fine residents for feeding wildlife. Cote said the animals were causing thousands of dollars of damage to his oriental lilies. In his testimony, Cote also said he had been given guidance on how he could euthanize the trapped animals with his car exhaust.
Thankfully, the investigation concluded otherwise, that he did not euthanize the animals inhumanely.
According to a new police report released by the DEM, environmental police say Warwick Animal Control Officer Eric Brewster admitted to investigators he told Cote how to euthanize animals with carbon monoxide in December. Brewster said at the time of the call he believed it to be humane and legal. The DEM says it's not a prescribed method of humane euthanasia. According to the report, Cote told investigators Brewster tried unsuccessfully to euthanize a skunk using that method. Brewster's version of events disputes that. Warwick police say they are conducting an internal review, and the officer is not commenting. State veterinarian Dr. Scott Marshall says environmental police found no animals were euthanized. The report says Cote told investigators he relocated animals, which the DEM says is not permitted under state law. Cote is not facing any charges.
I understand he was given a verbal warning.
Correct.
A DEM spokesperson previously told Eyewitness News that trapping animals requires a license, but Tuesday corrected that, saying a license is not required for property owners to trap nuisance animals on their own property. Cote declined to speak to Eyewitness News on camera, but in a text message says, quote, "I'd much rather pay a fine for relocating rodents into the wild than be witness to Warwick Animal Control Officer Eric Brewster attempt to euthanize a rodent by hooking it up to an exhaust pipe of a vehicle and giving guidance to the general public to do such." Marshall says they're using this as a teachable moment, issuing a memo to all animal control officers about trapping and humane euthanasia.
Landowners really only have two options. That if they're going to put them down, they put them down humanely, or they release them on the property.
And Marshall says he believes the animal control officer made an honest mistake and should not be disciplined. Now, questions have been raised about another Warwick man's testimony about trapping and gassing rats on his property. The DEM says that is permitted under law. I'm Kim Kalunian, Eyewitness News.